Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a really moving topic today, respecting the Qur'an. So our source material kicks off with just absolute jarring chaos. A peaceful village is attacked, smoke is rising, everyone is fleeing. Just imagine the immediate panic here, you know? Danger is spreading like wildfire across this entire Muslim village. And obviously that natural instinctual human response kicks in, survival. The villagers are rushing to safety, leaving their homes, leaving all their belongings behind as this thick smoke fills the sky. The pacing here is deliberately fast and urgent. It sets up this incredibly high-stakes environment where every single second counts, and people are just forced to abandon literally everything to save their own lives.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because right in the middle of all this intense panic, the text hits us with a huge question. But what was left behind? While everyone else is scrambling to get away from the danger, one young, brave boy actually stops. His mind isn't just on his own survival, which is wild to think about. He remembers something incredibly precious that is still sitting inside the village's mosque. The contrast here is just so compelling. Against this backdrop of total chaos and flight, one single person stops to think about the sacred text.
Just look at how incredibly fast this all happens. At 0 seconds, the enemies attack, bam. By 10 seconds, that immediate flight response kicks in, and the villagers are fleeing to safety. But look at the 20-second mark. While literally everyone is running away, this brave boy makes a split-second, completely selfless decision to run directly back into the mosque. The sheer speed of this sequence really hammers home that reverence and respect, they aren't just passive ideas, right? In this parable, they are immediate, active, and incredibly courageous choices made under immense pressure.
And the source text gives us this truly powerful narration of that exact moment. It says, without thinking of himself, he rushed inside, gently picked up the Qur'an, and protected it with all his heart. This quote right here, this is the emotional core of our explainer today. It just highlights the absolute devotion required to make that kind of rescue. Notice the extreme selflessness, without thinking of himself. In a moment where self-preservation should totally be the only instinct, his primary concern is the sanctity and safety of the Qur'an. It sets the ultimate standard for the immense value placed upon the text.
And you know, this brilliantly illustrates our main focus today, how to actively show respect. We aren't just talking about abstract concepts here. We are looking at real, specific physical actions. 1, he picked it up gently. 2, he wrapped it in a clean cloth. And 3, he held it close to his chest. These aren't just like throwaway plot points in a story. They actually serve as a literal, practical blueprint for exactly how to handle the Qur'an. Gentleness shows care. A clean cloth maintains that physical purity and cleanliness, which is a massive component of Islamic reverence. And holding it close to the chest, that signifies both emotional closeness and physical elevation, making sure it's absolutely safe from falling or being mishandled. Okay, let's all take a collective breath here. By Allah's mercy, the boy returned safely. Man, after that intense buildup and those crazy high stakes we just went through, the narrative deliberately lets us exhale. The boy completes his incredibly dangerous mission and safely reaches his family. This moment of relief is so crucial. It allows the whole story to pivot from a high-stakes action tale right into a beautiful moment of communal reflection and gratitude.
So, what's the community's reaction to all this? Well, first, the villagers are just absolutely amazed by his courage. Second, they thank Allah for protecting him. And third, they praise the safety of both the child and the Qur'an. This communal reaction is super important for our understanding of the whole topic. Because the boy's deep reverence, it didn't just exist in a vacuum, it inspired the entire village. It reminded everyone around him of the true value of the text, basically turning this terrifying moment of attack into a profound moment of gratitude and reinforced faith.
Now we shift gears completely. The village mosque is peaceful again, sunlight shines through the windows. We've moved entirely out of that danger zone we were in earlier. The smoke is gone, the panic has totally subsided, and tranquility is restored. And this shift in the narrative environment, it's completely intentional. The source is essentially preparing to show us that the lessons we just learned during that violent attack are just as applicable, if not more so, in the quiet, everyday moments of our lives.
This sets up a really profound comparison for us. In times of extreme danger, respecting the text meant actively rescuing it, wrapping it, and holding it tightly to the chest. But what does that mean every day when things are just normal and peaceful? Well, the Qur'an is placed respectfully on a wooden stand. It's not just tossed on a coffee table or left sitting on the floor, right? It is elevated, it's given a dedicated, special space, and it's treated with the exact same underlying reverence in the quiet sunlight as it was in the thick of the smoke. The physical actions change, for sure, but that core principle remains 100% identical.
And this crucial point is captured perfectly right here in the text. The Qur'an deserves our love, respect, and care every day, not only in times of danger. Honestly, this is the ultimate moral lesson of our explainer today. Because think about it. It is so easy to understand the immense value of something when you're on the verge of losing it, right? But the true test of reverence is how you treat that sacred text on a random Tuesday when everything is totally fine and peaceful. The source is actively challenging the reader to maintain that high level of devotion all the time, making respect a daily, ingrained habit rather than just an emergency response.
So, just to ensure we are crystal clear based on everything we've unpacked today, what does respect actually mean in the context of this story? Well, it means honoring the Quran in every single situation, whether that's danger or total peace. It means treating it with love, which we literally just saw in the gentle handling and the clean cloth, and it means prioritizing its safety and sanctity, just exactly like the brave boy did when he sprinted back into the mosque. This definition really just brings the entire narrative together into a super clear, actionable mindset for us.
Now, here's something really interesting. There's an explicit note provided in the source material that says, this is an inspirational moral story, not a verified historical event. So why does that matter for us? It matters because it tells us the exact purpose of the text. Parables and moral stories are specifically engineered to distill these really complex values into memorable, easy-to-understand formats. The creators of this story designed it specifically as a teaching tool to instill these exact values of reverence and care we've been talking about. Recognizing it as a parable actually allows us to focus entirely on the lesson it's designed to deliver.
As the source material comes to a close, it leaves us with this simple yet incredibly profound prayer. May Allah fill our hearts with love for His book. Amen. This beautifully anchors the whole story. It takes all that intense action, the quick timeline, the practical blueprints for handling the text, the community's gratitude, and it roots all of that back into a deeply emotional and spiritual place. It's a great reminder that the physical respect, the wooden stands, the clean cloths, ultimately has to stem from a heart completely filled with love for the text.